The, the, the news agencies have, to some extent, benefited from the problems, from the troubles that the other news media have had to face. As newspapers and to some extent as broadcast and as radio and as television stations have had to reduce the numbers of their journalists and their correspondents, especially overseas international bureaus, the agencies have become even more important as sources of, particularly of breaking news. So the position of the agencies in some way is stronger today than it's ever been. Traditionally, and when I say traditionally, I do mean going back over 100 and 150 years, the news agencies were, they were anonymous. So far as the readers of newspapers were concerned, so far as the listeners to radio stations, the viewers of television stations were concerned, news agencies didn't exist. People generally were not aware that a significant proportion of all of their news and information actually originated from news agencies. Increasingly today, because of the internet, the services of news agencies are being consumed direct by the end users, by the readers. And this, I think, is a fundamental shift in the traditional business model of the news agencies. Up until now, its policy has been one national news agency for each country, and they've not opened the doors to news agencies that are competing to be national news agencies. Interestingly, its policy in that respect is different from the policy of the Organization of Asian Pacific News Agency, which has 40, I believe it's 42 members. OANA opens its doors to any news agency that operates in practice as a national news agency. So, and of course, I'm sure that the European alliance would likely, I think would likely serve a better function if it opened its doors to all of the news agencies, because that is about diversity. It's about what the media ought to be. The media ought to represent all voices of the community. And it's getting to be slightly old-fashioned, this idea that there would just be one single medium to represent all of the... I think that idea now may be out of date. And I think ACN may be proving that it is out of date.